California attempting to rein in the gig economy. The state expected to pass Assembly Bill 5 this week, which would entitle gig workers to protections like minimum wage and unemployment benefits, and force companies like Uber and Lyft to reclassify their drivers from independent contractors to employees. Early Uber investor Bill Gurley appeared on CNBC earlier today, weighing in on how this may impact the company.
I hope that all regulators will take the time to understand that most of these drivers greatly value the freedom and flexibility to be able to work whenever and wherever they want. There's no job at Starbucks or McDonald's where you can come in Monday and Tuesday and not show up Wednesday and Thursday. And that's a feature of this job. It takes scale to be able to get involved with government and adhere to regulation. And so, oddly, I don't see it as a negative for the stock.
Joining us now is Arun Sundararajan, professor of entrepreneurship at NYU Stern School of Business and author of The Sharing Economy. Thanks very much for joining us. Good to see you.
I'm delighted to be here.
So firstly, just quickly, what are the key things that this bill would alter?
Well, it would certainly change the cost structure of any platform like Uber or Lyft or DoorDash or Postmates. It would make it harder for them to have part-time workers or people who sort of plug in during rush hour and then plug out. Over the long run, it would increase fares and it would make it harder for the next startup that is sort of building itself based on flexible providers to actually emerge. So it'll probably strengthen Uber's sort of dominance in the long run.
A lot of people, of course, saying this has been done in the name of the worker, to help the worker and protect the worker. Will all workers welcome this?
No. I'm sure there will be a subset of workers who will like the benefits and like the sort of the full-time employment status. These are the people who sort of wake up in the morning, drive for 10, 12 hours a day, do this 5 days a week. But a majority of drivers like the fact that they can switch off the app at any time, go to pick up their kids from school. There are millions of Uber and Lyft drivers who are doing this as transition work to supplement other income. And so I think if you think that it will be universally welcomed by workers, that's sort of dead on wrong. And in particular, the workers who will no longer be able to drive for Uber and Lyft are certainly not going to welcome it.
I realize that this is all being framed in California as a focus on the employees in the gig economy. However, we have seen this fight play out before, this idea of independent workers versus employees. I can think of FedEx, and that has gone through the court systems in the past. Is that the expectation here, that you're going to see this bill challenged again through the court system?
Oh, absolutely. If it passes, I don't expect any real impact for at least a couple of years, while Uber and Lyft challenge it and it sort of weaves its way through the court system. But even though the question is an old one, I mean, like even before FedEx, we had Microsoft being sued by contract workers. I think what people have to realize is that the world of work has changed in a way that has taken us away from the predictability of people who work are full-time employees. I expect that in 20 years, the majority of the workforce will not be full-time employees, but will be something else. And so rather than trying to sort of retrofit the new work models into these old employment buckets, what the California Assembly should be doing is coming up with ways to figure out, why do workers want to be employees? The ones who do well, they don't want the inflexibility, they want the benefits, they want the protections. So extend those protections, come up with creative funding models, come up with things like the 401k plan to be able to sort of extend protections not just to employees, but to all categories of workers, because these non-employees are going to be a majority.
All right. Arun, thanks for joining us.
Delighted to be here.
It's a big one to watch.